Hey guys, welcome to another commentary done by Degree. This is BSL Hasuleague round of 32 Group D final. We have a rematch between Byextra and Too Sexy For You. Too Sexy For You ended up winning their initial engagements. Bottom right hand corner, Byextra starting as the... I can't color swap, unfortunately. Kind of want to, because this is going to be that bluish... It's gray. It's gray, right? But like a bluish gray. Protoss, I should look what the official names of the colors are, versus the Midnight Green. Midnight Green Protoss. Excuse me, this is on Radion, a large map, so I'm expecting more of a macro battle between these two guys. Yeah, something, it's a large enough map. This map, and I feel like Citadel, because of the size of them and also the paths, so you can't just like walk into through the middle of the map here, you gotta go all the way around. I feel like it discourages some of the 2-gate openers and some of the more aggressive opening play. But I gotta say, this ASL map pool has made for, I'm not sure what the spice of it was, but it's this is spoilers for ASL, which I hope you guys are keeping up with, but this season of ASL has been absolutely amazing. We'll see if we see equivalent for BSL. The one problem for BSL at the Pro League level is it turns into macro games, and oftentimes guys will be like, we're just gonna macro to 200, so like it's like no action until 15 minutes in. Then they start attacking each other, and then it gets exciting, but it's also 50 minutes of like, yep, they're macroing sometimes. Versus ASL, where it's like, they're doing all sorts of crazy stuff in them. Anyway, and as I say crazy stuff, look at this. Byextra recognizing how large the map is, going for a 12 Nexus. Going for a 12 Nexus on a 4-player map, and he's going up against a double gate from Sexy. This is an instant loss. By the way, this should be an instant loss. At least I do not know how you pull at... I don't know how you pull... well, let's see. We got a cross scout. There is a world where Sexy manages to get the scout off, cancels the Nexus, and drops some additional... I was hoping a Forge might have done it. He's got double gate behind this. This will be an interesting use case. Sexy in a bad position though, because that was 400 resources that wasn't attack units, and he's got attack units that are going to be out on the field rapidly, and he's getting second scout. So it's not like he's getting last scout where he would have had a lot of time to prepare. And on top of that, making things worse, I don't think this probe is going... So, he's going to get last scout. Nothing going right for Sexy here. So took the risk. Isn't going to see the Zealot. Well, is he going to see the Zealot? This is going to get really close, actually. Does he see the Zealot? Oh, didn't mean to go to letterbox there. No, does not see the Zealot. And so now he's trying to... He's just now starting to produce 2 Zealots. So it's going to be an all-probe defense. Oof. Yeah, so this is going to be a quick one. It is cross positions, keep in mind, but I don't think it makes that much of a difference. Actually, maybe it might. This first Zealot is going to be 2-on-1. But still should be able to get some worker kills. Let's see. Well, blocked out a little bit. Are you kidding me? Is he going to be able to defend this at cross position with double gate opener? You can defend to 12. Okay, walking into the natural to get some damage done. Where are the rest? Okay, there's initial Zealots coming as well. If he defends this, it's going to be like, that's insane. That shows you how large the map is if he defends this. Okay, so double micro going on. Probes there. We'll try... so the probe's now flooding out of the natural. We already got some probe kills. This Zealot taken care of, but managed to get 3 kills. So Byextra still down on workers, but not as far behind as one might expect. He still had... And this is where I wish I could color swap, but I can't, you guys. I can't color swap. Anyway... More probes getting wiped out. I'm actually... putting that second pylon there was actually a really good play. And I gotta say, it looks like, as far as a follow-up, Sexy defended, which is incredible. That's crazy. Dropping a Forge as well. Byextra's caught up in workers. He's dropped his own natural expansion, which is going to be much later. He's up in Dragoons at the very least. But this is enough Zealots where with the counterattack, I think Byextra is going to get held up quite a bit and could end up losing a lot of workers on his own. So we'll see. So where I thought Maybe this is build order 1 as big as the map, I guess the map size. Let it be known that you might be able to pull 12 Nexuses on maps this size. Anyway, the Zealot's holding up though. I think if that was a full-on attack, this would have been a scarier turnaround for Sexy. And was I calling? I think I was calling the players wrong this entire time because of that color problem. Regardless, Byagster with a bunch of Zealots now inside Sexy's base. Not my best cast. 3 Zealots marching in to get some counter damage. We do have that range upgrading. Probes pulling off the line, unfortunately attacked that pylon first, as though that was the most threatening thing out here. Zealots just careening in, so this looks like it's going to be a 12 Nexus versus opponent win potentially here. Because Byagster now way up on workers, still taking out workers, has halted gas production, which is going to halt Dragoon production, and you still actually have these Zealots managed to get good damage done on the Dragoon, although that Zealot kind of not being all that helpful. Let's see if the 3 Zealots are able to get some bonus. They're currently trying to run. I don't know why they're trying to run behind the lines as though this was Zerg. They still, you can keep running. You got these Dragoons a little bit flummoxed. Keep going, buddies. Instead, it looks like they're just going to attack that pylon, and we're hanging around just in case an additional probe. So at the end of this, Sexy, the player that did not go for the 12 gate, or the 12 Nexus, I should say, is down 10 workers. He's up 5 Dragoons, though. A couple Zealots pocketed at the 12 o'clock location. Some defensive cannons down for Byagster. So Sexy ahead as far as raw production of Dragoons in tech. Way behind, though, in economy. This is a nutty one. What a Hasuleague start, I tell you. We got a... Also, it looks like Byagster doing standard shenanigans. He's got Zealots pocketed at the 12 o'clock. Worker's going to see the... And yeah, that's going to trigger them to go in and get some additional damage done. And he might try to go for a third base rapidly, top right, behind these cannons, and the Dragoons filtering in. Byagster pulling out. This is about as Protoss a game as you will see. Holy cow. Okay, so 6 Dragoons on the front. This isn't enough with everything here, and the Zealots marching their way in. They're going to be able to take out these photon cannons before they're up. So they're gone, and now they're free fighting. The Dragoons stymied. Looks like they were able to step back and deal with some of the Zealots. Let's see if Byagster has some focus fire to make that work, but the Zealots, unfortunately, getting a little bit of a bad multitasking here, not able to focus, but that's an empty natural expansion. So despite being down workers, and the Dragoons just pulling out, so despite being down workers, Sexy being denied an expansion on top of everything else, and the Zealots able to get right into the main, so the workers are just having, they're not mining this entire time, they're having to run back and forth, and a third Nexus getting dropped top right in the space of all this. So the Dragoons finally able to make their way back. Another photon cannon getting dropped to deal with potential Dark Templar. That would have been like the icing on the cake if there was a Dark Templar on top of this. 3 gateways out on both sides, but a 4th gateway and potentially a 5th gateway getting dropped here from Byagster, which I'm expecting. 3rd base on the way. Some cannons probably going to go up top right. If Sexy was aware of it, he could move all the Dragoons there immediately and wipe it out, but he doesn't have observers or the scouting information to know to even go for that. He's still kind of all in, but he is behind in supply overall. So if we deduct, what is that, roughly 20 workers right there, that's even armies overall. And probes are being escorted top right. How greedy can you get? So Byagster also escorting the workers to immediately get that top right base saturated, which is going to allow him to potentially drop even, honestly, a couple more gateways, or maybe even some tech behind this. It looks like he's going robotics facility and fanning out mid-map. So Sexy doesn't realize it, but he's in dire straits, and unfortunately his worker's having trouble resaturating. He's going up to 5 gateways. Is he going to go up to 6? Honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if he went up to 8 and was like, okay, let's just do this. 8 gate production being the maximum production off 2 bases. Usually you want a higher worker count base to make that work at this stage. So it looks like, so he's going up to 6. Let's see if he goes up to 7. 7 might be kind of the balance in between. 6 is heavy production, and it's slowing you down from getting a 3rd, but lets you build a lot of troops. Unfortunately for him, it's still 5 gateways in the back corner. and a double, wow, so double forge on top of this and a robotics facility. Did the forge get taken out? And Sexy walking into, I think, a disadvantage. You'll see who micros this better. It looks like initial micro better on Sexy's part. Not seeing a lot of focus micro yet on either side. Now we're seeing some focus micro from Byagster and Sexy trying to retreat. So on top of that, yeah, now Sexy down half supply and getting walked back into his natural expansion. He's only got a couple cannons there to try to provide some defense. So Byagster in firm control now and starting to wander out with workers, just making sure that something wasn't pulled on his end. Going for triple upgrades. Look at this. Triple upgrades across the board. Also dropping Citadel of Adun on top of everything else. We got an observatory just in case Dark Templar were out in the field for Sexy. And unfortunately, Sexy, so I think you need around 42. Don't quote me on this, but I believe you need somewhere around 42 probes to have both bases saturated to go for like the full 8 gate. So just limping around at the 38 count and cutting there, we'll see how that works with the 6 gateways behind it. Yeah, you can see how 3 of these gateways right now. Well, we'll see actually. It's a missing pylon block, which is not helping Sexy out at all. He's very flummoxed. And we're going to see a 4th base rapidly. Byagster not missing any beats. If you want, okay, so aside from the cheesiness in the space of all this, if you want to talk about when you're ahead, get further ahead, Byagster's doing it. So additional pylons up. Should see, and unfortunately that supply cap really hurt, because if there was any chance, yeah, just getting the extra might have helped. But Zelt leg speed going to be there. Starting to fan back out. Taking a free shot. Careful. Byagster Dragoon. It's going to back out. Single cannon top right. Not that with map control that's that big an issue. Psystorm also being upgraded bottom right. Are we going to see Nexus here at the 6? Never mind. Another Nexus here at the right-hand corner. But he might even try to double. That would be a little bit too greedy, trying to double Nexus on top of everything else. All sorts of gateways plopping down for Byagster, feeling like he's got this in firm control, has enough of an economy to roll it, and he does. He's got end-game worker saturation, and is very quickly going to be able to keep the bases saturated. Sexy starting to press out into this at close positions, but he's, so what is that, minus 20? He's still behind in the overall worker count, and unfortunately for him, he's kind of might be walking into his own demise. Byagster walking the troops out here. He's going for a split. He wants to try to pin the troops in. He wants the Zelts to be able to assault from behind. Yeah. So now switching around, and keep in mind, midway through this fight, that +1 weapons, +1 armor, and +1 shield is going to kick online. So this could be it. So yeah, unfortunately, a nice kind of sweeping maneuver there by Byagster. That was some nice troop movement, honestly, and there's GG. Okay, so apparently you can 12 Nexus on this map and defend a 2-gate at cross position. Today I learned. This is how we get better in life, right? We steadily learn things about the world around us, about ourselves, we integrate it, and we improve in life. All right, with that life lesson from StarCraft, we'll exit. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for listening.